Hello, what's up, Elevate 88? I am so excited to do a just impromptu live. Didn't tell anyone. It was just in my hotel room and I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to come on and be like, what's up? So I have a really important / interesting / topic. No extra thing after that / clearly, just ended it, that I want to talk about with you guys today. So I have been having like incredible conversations with the ladies in my mastermind, and my clients are blowing me away. That mastermind, Crystal, I just want to dive in there and squeeze you. I've been having incredible conversations with the ladies in my mastermind. What they're doing, how they're moving, their wins, what they're navigating right now, and also just the way that the mastermind is like coming together as a community and supporting one another has like blown my mind. Like something really, really special is going on in my mastermind right now, and it's like literally makes me want to cry with how awesome it is. However, I share everything with my mastermind, okay? So I was sharing with them how, well, I sent them a voice note before I flew out to Australia, and I was sharing with them how I'm living in multiple manifestations. And I've mentioned that in a few different places. I dropped it in my last live. I talked about it on my Instagram. And then I also sent them another voice message just the other day, and I was like, you guys, like I have updates. I need to tell you things, like things are going on, like things have been downloading. I'm having breakthroughs, like I'm having massive realizations, like you guys, like as much as they come to me with all their things in their life, I equally share a lot about my life with them. I'm not fully ready to share all the details of the breakthrough. Tegan, what's up, girl? Hi, I'm in Australia. I need to DM you actually. I'm not fully ready to share like all the breakthroughs and the realizations and everything that have come through this week because I haven't fully processed everything. But hi babe. But there has been one specific thing that I've noticed since being present to multiple manifestations happening at once, and something that I noticed early on when I landed here in Melbourne, and what I have been actively trying to be present to since. A lot of words. So when I was leaving to fly out to Melbourne for the Empire of the Sun tour, which we have our first show today. We're doing a festival. We're leaving in like 45 minutes, so I don't have too long, but we have our first show tonight. Woo! So I was telling, I'm all over the place, clearly. I'm like, my festival, Tegan, Crystal, before I left my mastermind. I need to reel it in. Okay, so when I was leaving to come to Australia, I was telling my mastermind how it just feels so crazy how multiple things just have been popping like this in my life. And I was telling them I was trying to track back to when or what created this shift in my life, what created such a dynamic to now be experiencing so many incredible manifestations all at once. And I basically was able to track it back to November when I signed up for my mastermind with my mentor, and I invested a high 5-figure amount into my mentor for my mastermind. And I even came on in my Facebook group. I said it in a few different areas as well, but I was saying how I felt like I jumped into a different timeline. Like I felt like from who I was and then from who I became, just from saying the yes to jumping into the mastermind, I felt like I shifted timelines. And I said these words, I felt like nothing had changed externally in the moment, but everything had changed internally. Like who I became within a second felt different. Like something just felt different. I felt elevated immediately. And since that moment, since November, there's just been like crazy manifestations. Like 3 days later, I had that $31,000 day. Then in December, I had my biggest month of my business. I had new people come in. It was a really big growth month for me. AJ and I were also just like living our best life for a month in Arizona, Lake Havasu. So there was just so many things happening in my life. And then New Year's hit. January was epic. Then my birthday. Now this job, and there's multiple other things that are going on right now that I'm just like, I can't believe it. Like, what is happening? What is happening? Like, I'm sweating. It's like, wow, how is my life just like so many things are just happening at once? And so I tracked it back to like where my energy was and what was I thinking? How was I feeling? How was I showing up? What was my intention of my day? Like, what has created such momentum? And that's basically where I've tracked it back to now. And yes, like there was like manifestations within like a few days after that investment, and then in December and January, like it's been like a beautiful like incline of manifestations. But I want to be clear that in the moment when I did that, and even in December, I wasn't fully present. Like, it was still very much like nothing really has changed, but everything has changed. It was very much like I could feel the difference. So now, cut to like middle of Feb, like there's multiple things going on. Plus, I can feel just like more energy, more momentum, so many more breakthroughs, so many more downloads. It's pretty fascinating. But one thing in particular has come up, and I noticed this same experience happen around New Year's. So when you're manifesting something, when you have a dream and you have a goal and you're feeling into it, you're acting as if you're doing these things that I talk to you guys about all the time, especially if you're in Daydreamer, my manifestation course, the whole course was about this. But when you're like actively manifesting something to create into your life, you are intentionally focusing, and the energy is building, and the momentum is building, and your excitement is building, your anticipation is building. The way you're showing up starts to shift, and then all of a sudden your manifestation happens, because that's what happens. Law of attraction, we know that. And poof, you get your manifestation. So what I want to talk about today is when you get your manifestation, when you have the win, when you get that hit of the adrenaline, you get kind of like a high from your manifestation happening, how long is it until you're onto the next? And there's nothing wrong with being onto the next. We are ever evolving humans. We will always ever be desiring more and more and more and more and more. And I'm such an advocate for that, and I love it, and I'm just all about it. I'm all about like the abundance, the overflow. How much more do I have the energy and capacity to hold? And that is not a problem. However, what I noticed I was doing was hitting these milestones, feeling the win in the moment, being like, woohoo! And then not knowing how to hold that energy and build on it, instead of being like, okay, cool, I've won this, like I got that, that was a success, this happened, I manifested this. Now let me manifest this, and I feel like I need to start from scratch. And I didn't fully even notice I was doing this, which is the craziest thing. I didn't even fully notice my energy was looking at myself. And I teach this stuff too. And I've even had conversations about this of being like, everything is building, everything is stacking towards who you're becoming. And I understand this concept very well. And I can see how I still do this. Like I see how I still feel the energy build towards my next manifestation. But the way that I would look at it was still rooted in a lack mindset and a need energetic from my conditioning of my past. So what I mean by that is, before I started learning mindset, before I started learning and diving into all of this, I was living in lack. And when I would manifest, I only knew how to manifest from a place of need. And if you did Daydreamer, there was a whole module on this, need versus desire. There is very clear different energetics when you manifest from need and when you manifest from desire. Both work. You can manifest from both energetics. It's just when you get to a place when you don't need any more and you're only used to manifesting from need, things get a little funky. So what I have noticed was I was getting a bit confused. Like my brain was glitching, like just ticking. My brain began to like glitch. My energy was like glitching because I realized I have only always created from a tiny bit of lack and need. Not in the past, or all lack and need. But I didn't know how to find inspiration, find motivation from a place of like, I have everything I need. I have everything. I have everything I ever wanted. Now let me be inspired to create something. I didn't know how to tap into that energy and it felt really new to me. So the only way I knew how to manifest more was to shift myself back into, let me get my energy on board for needing this so I can call it into my life. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't need to do that anymore. And that's not my life. And the quicker I can learn how to unplug and unhook my claws from that energy of creation, the quicker things are going to keep coming. Because when you're in the energy of desire, it's like full feminine. It's like pleasure, fun, play, just like all the goodies, all the good feeling things. So I actually wasn't going to go into all that, but that is something that I have been working on personally behind the scenes this week, because I had noticed, like, being here in Melbourne and going to rehearsals, but also like still connecting with my clients, still voxering my clients every day, still showing up for my mastermind and my mastermind that I'm in with my mentor, and so many other things that are going on in the scenes. I was just like, there's so much greatness here. I felt like I was capping myself of not letting myself dream anymore. I was like, okay, let's just like, which is fine, totally fine. But it was rooted in the energy of, I don't know how to manifest from a place of complete, like, let's just see what else. Like, let's just play. Let me just see. Let's see how this goes. Wonder what else I want. Like, that is so new to me in my life, because it's only recently that I've been in a place where I don't need anything specifically. So this has been fucking fascinating, to say the least. And I'm really, really excited to kind of like decode this sequence, because, and if anyone's like fascinated by this stuff too, like drop it in the comments so I know like I should talk about this more. But it has been crazy watching myself, because since doing this work, I'm so present. I'm so aware of my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings, my habits. Like it's almost like I developed this ability to be able to like watch myself from a bird's eye view sometimes and be like, why am I doing that? Why do I say things like that? Why do I feel like that? Have I always done that? Like, this is me on a day-to-day, like on a regular basis, like questioning everything. I'm always questioning myself. And it has been incredible to witness from January, the build up to knowing what was coming in February, because so much exciting things were happening in February that I already knew were coming. So January, I was just very much in anticipation of like, the manifestations are coming. Oh my God, the manifestation's coming. It's happening. It's happening. I can't believe it. I'm so grateful. Like that was basically my energy in January. And then I got here to February. And I was like feeling it, and things were happening and things were starting, and I was like, and they were actually coming, and I was able to touch them. They were tangible now. Like, I'm here, I'm in Melbourne, I'm about to do my show. Like, they're real. My manifestations are real. And then I was like, okay, cool. What else? What's next? What's March looking like? What do I want to do next? And I noticed how funky my energy got. Like, I was like, I don't know how to create from a place of like, yay! More, woo, what else? And it's been a really beautiful, eye-opening experience, but also just like super fun. Like, I just kind of love this shit. And it's funny when you notice something about yourself and then you didn't even realize how deeply tricky that was rooted in my subconscious mind. Like, and I'm sure you guys have had this stuff happen to you too, when you start doing self-development and then you realize something hits and you're like, I thought I healed that like fucking ages ago. Like, how is it still here? How are we like, what? What just happened there? Like, that was hidden. That was hidden in a cubby house in like behind my right side of my brain or something, because I thought that was done. Like, I thought we were done with that. And don't get me wrong, like, none of this is bad. None of this is like a problem. None of that was anything that was negative. It was more just like eye-opening and kind of fascinating to experience myself glitch at try to manifest what's next and then be so confused at to how to get inspired to like create when I don't need to actually do anything right now. I don't need to do anything right now. Like my mastermind's going great. My private clients are fucking like blowing my mind. My life is going well. I'm on a job right now. My business is moving. Money's coming in. Like money's coming in regularly for like the year. It was just so interesting to watch me try to navigate in finding inspiration for creating what's next for me when I don't need to actually do anything. So I don't know if any of this is making sense. And this is my cue to you guys, whether you're here on the live or watching on the replay, do a hashtag replay and be like, girl, you're making sense, or be like, you lost me. You have lost me. Don't know what you're talking about. So give me some feedback on if this is hitting. If you're in my mastermind, I'm always like, did that land? Let me know if that landed. So I want to do more lives in here now that my rehearsal schedule is finished and we're just fun touring now and shows are going and we're just going to be traveling for a little bit. We're not even that long. It's only like a week. So I want to do some more lives in here. I might do a few lives next week. And if you have any questions on this, pop it in the comments. Because I really want to connect and answer questions and talk to you guys and see where you guys are at. What are you guys feeling in your life right now? What out of my story is resonating with you, and keep building on this energy. So I think that's me. I think that's all I have to say. And I'm going to go live my fucking dreams, I guess. Off to go live my dreams. We're performing at a festival tonight, so it's going to be a bunch of people. I don't even know how many people. I'll post photos. I'll post some pics, and I'm just gonna go live my dreams and be present and soak it all in and just feel like the gratitude of everything. And yeah, life's really good. Life's really good, and I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that I just never gave up and I fucking have just believed this shit was possible, and having everything, that's the wrong words. Having so many parts of my life be so beautiful when so many people try to tell you you can't do certain things. Like you can't have a career and travel when you're married, and when you got this, and when you do that, or when you do this, or there's all these rules, right? Like people have these limiting beliefs, these rules about what's right or wrong that you can do when you're a certain age, when you're in a certain type of relationship, when you have kids. Not that I have kids, but these things of like, once you hit a certain age, you got to like start toning down, like doing this or travel. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I just love that I can be a demonstration, hopefully, to you guys of you can do whatever career you want. You can have multiple careers. You can be successful in multiple industries. You can have an incredible supportive relationship. You can travel and be you, individually you as you, with a relationship that still thrives and not have to sacrifice anything for a relationship. And your life truly gets to be as good as you will allow it to be. And this is something that I have been sitting with and journaling on and asking myself, how good will I let it get? If I feel like I noticed myself, because things are so good, being like, I don't need to think anymore. I don't need to dream anymore right now. But it's like, why? Why not? Like, we're uncomfortable sometimes. It's like, have you ever felt like when you get gifted so many things, or when you have a lot of clothes and then someone's like, here, do you want these extra clothes? You're like, I don't need any more. Give it to someone who needs it. Like, I have plenty. Like, don't worry about me. Or if like there's a buffet of food and you've already had seconds, and then someone's like, go get more. And you're like, I don't need any more. Has everyone else eaten? Like, just let other people. It's like, how good can you actually let it be? How comfortable can you actually get having more than you can imagine? Some questions to think about. All right, I'm going to run. Let me know if any of this landed, and I will be on here in a few days when I get to Sydney, and I'll do another live and we can chit chat and hang out. All right, I love you guys. Bye.